So taxes is the other thing we're talking about, not necessarily one of my favorite topics, but a topic we need to discuss nonetheless. And we're going to do a comparative between just eating out and fine dining when it comes to taxes.
CD Financial, where health meets wealth.
Welcome back to the CD Financial Podcast. I am Marcus C., your host. Man across from me is Chuck D., CD Financial, where health meets wealth. We're happy to have you back, Chuck. How the heck are you?
You're in town, baby.
Yes, sir. You know I am.
I love it. I love it.
It's fantastic.
Back in.
Yes.
I like some of the episodes we put together where we were remote, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. Gio showed me a couple of those, and I really like them.
Good.
But this is just...
I love this dynamic better. Honestly, even though people tell me I look better from far away, I just like this interaction because closer is better for us, for the two of us here now, for this sake of this.
Yes.
So, yes.
You look fantastic up close.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I got to tell you, I was listening to one of the episodes in the sauna, so I know what we're putting out there. And
very good.
I realize that sometimes I might be smiling and laughing, but I'm not making any sound. So I figured I should say something at least, right? Because I'm listening just to audio. I don't have time to look at the deal. I'm busy sweating it out.
That's good. Sauna's good for you, man.
Oh,
Sauna's
man,
good for you.
Yeah, that could be our tip for.
We need a sauna health tip at some point. We're gonna work that in.
Episode.
Yeah, we're gonna work that in. So let me tell you, I just got back from vacation. I feel great.
Welcome.
Grazie.
Bienvenidos.
Grazie.
Benvenuti.
Benvenuti. Grazie, signore. So just got back from vacation, spent 2 weeks on the beach. Very nice. I'm happy to kind of be back in the normal routine, but it was great. 25th anniversary.
Wow.
So it was fantastic. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Felicidades.
Felicidades, but close enough.
Auguri, mabruk.
Grazie. It's been a good time.
How do you say it in Spanish?
Felicidades.
Felicidades.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you were
Bring us
close.
A little bit closer, yeah.
She still puts up with me, and I try not to mess things up too bad, and so far it's worked. So we'll see if we can go.
Get some advice there, folks.
Yeah, that's premarital advice. Don't mess up too bad, ultimately. So I am intrigued because today's topic intrigued me because, first of all, you brought up one of my favorite things in life, which is not Texas, food. Right. So we're going to be doing something, kind of a comparative with food as far as our topic goes today.
Right.
And I will tell you, one of the things that we do when we're on vacation, and this trip was no exception, we always make time for a fine dining experience, and especially anniversary time. So we will spend the bulk of vacation eating at the local, fish stand, whatever. We make a lot of stuff at home, but of course, there's always that one night when we go out. And this time we chose to go. Can I mention them? They're not a sponsor or anything.
Sure, if you want. I don't even know who you're going to mention.
The Capitol Grill. We went to the Capitol Grill.
Where was this, in Florida?
In Florida, yeah.
Yeah, where at?
Near West Palm Beach.
Oh, so that's on the Atlantic side.
Yes, it's on the Atlantic side. Just
the Capitol Grill. And it was Capitol?
It was very good. Very good. So on point with the appetizer salad. The steak was perfect. And then because it was anniversary, they brought us a little anniversary creme brulee to finish off. So fantastic. But you really, really get the sense of the experience, right? When you're paying for the local fish shack, the food can be good. Nothing wrong with the local fish shack, right? But when you go and you sit down, you have that experience, and it's start to finish, and it's the service, and it's everything. It's an experience.
I'm ready to eat.
Hey, maybe we'll find a Capitol Grill here in a second. You and I go. So taxes is the other thing we're talking about. Not necessarily one of my favorite topics, but a topic we need to discuss nonetheless. And we're going to do a comparative between just eating out and fine dining when it comes to taxes. Maybe you want to start us down this road and tell me what we're talking about.
It's a tale of two families.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Taxes or not, it's the comparison of the Smiths and the Jones. Okay. Or do we say Joneses?
The Joneses, yeah. Let's go with Joneses.
Jonesing on that, okay.
Yes.
A comparative of the Smiths and the Joneses.
Okay, so tell us about the family.
There we go.
Let's start that comparison. So what's going on?
All right, so the Smiths came to me. Now, we're talking about a decade ago.
Okay.
So it's a while ago.
2014.
And, yep, they were actually out of state. I remember them clearly. And you'll know why as this progresses. And the Smith says, no. I only want to eat a la carte.
All right.
That's how I want to take my meal here. I want to just take this maybe, or maybe this, but I don't want a full meal.
Okay. So what are we talking about then? I mean, you're just one at a time, like the fish shack? Are we talking fish shack here? Just a fish sandwich on the go?
No, it might have been an excellent plate.
Okay.
But it was only a plate.
Just one.
Now I'm waiting for you to say, go ahead, tell me. What did the Joneses?
So okay. So we have one on one side. We have people choosing one plate, right?
Yeah, a la carte.
Okay. So what did the Joneses do? What's the difference?
Joneses said, here it is. Charles, go ahead and start your fine dining experience for us. We want to have it all the way from the appetizer and the starter wine and the pairings, all the way through the first course and the second course and the dessert. Give it all to us, baby. Make it fine.
Like it.
Yeah.
So let's dig into that then.
Sure, let's do it.
Let's get into a little specifics. What happened with the Smiths? They're a la carting it. It's one at a time in it. What happened with them?
They ate.
Yeah.
They were okay, right? They haven't wasted away. But that was the Smiths. Yeah. It happened, right? They chose one thing and they said that we're good with that. The Joneses, on the other hand, they had a full meal. So the Smiths, they did okay. The Joneses, it was a banquet of sorts for them as time rolled on.
Okay, so time goes on. They were dining exquisitely.
Yeah, that's a nice word.
They're having the fine dining experience. They have the aperitifs. They have the appetizers. We're getting the nice wine pairings and all. Let's get into that difference then. So what are we talking about in terms of taxes and what they actually did?
Okay, so it's funny too, because right behind Marcus, you can't see it, and he's not going to be able to move just so you could. Because it took us a minute to set this up. We're running solo right now.
The magic of Hollywood. This doesn't just happen, folks. This is a lot of work here.
Right behind him at the top of the wheel, there's income planning. Mm-hmm. Then there's investment planning. I'm pointing to that banner behind him. And on the bottom, there's tax planning. And then there's, healthcare planning and legacy planning.
Okay.
So what happens when you go to the fine dining experience and you cooperate fully is that everything with your TSP and everything else in your life, not excluding the TSP or anything else, your Social Security planning, your income planning, your investments that match your goals, the tax planning. This really stood out to me because what happened was, Mark, a decade later, the Smiths came back to me. Finally. Now, I would point out that we used to reach out. We reach out to everybody at least once a year.
Right.
Sometimes those that have a fine dining experience, oftentimes twice a year we meet. But once a year we reached out to the Smiths, and they didn't respond. And so Jude asked me, team member, my second-born son, runs the calendar right now as we record. And he says, well, what do we do? After several years of this, I said, well, let's keep reaching out. How about every 18 months? And then it became every 2 years. Do you want to know what happened?
So yes, I was waiting for a break because I did want to know. So what happened? Because you're talking about this whole selection of things behind me, right on the banner. You want people to think about all these things for their sake. It's not just you're not just selling things. You're setting people up for success.
Absolutely, we're fiduciaries,
right? And that's the idea that we want to make sure that people understand. It's not just about let's get you another product or service. This is about setting yourself up for success. So what happened?
It's about going deep, Marcus.
Absolutely.
Right. They talk about going 1 foot down and 10 feet out.
Yep.
We go 10 feet down and 1 foot out. We go deep.
All right.
Before we ever start to go out at all. We want to plan. So what happened was the Smiths show up now, and now let's say they're at their required minimum age to start pulling their money out. Mm-hmm. And now they want to talk about that money they have to pull out. Unbeknownst to the Smiths, they're regular contributors to their two different charitable donations. It's two different churches.
Okay.
And they don't really need that money, and they give even more than the required minimum distribution, the minimum amount that they have to pull out of their retirement savings accounts.
Right.
Say 2/3 is left at TSP, 1/3 they pulled a la carte with. The a la carte piece worked great, but neither one of them was planned for effectively. So now this amount that they typically would donate every year, they discovered through planning that they could do a qualified charitable donation. And they could have been doing it
all
right. Well, not all along, but at least starting at 70.5.
Okay.
He could have been putting money aside for that, and it would have taken care of that money because he doesn't need to pull it out. They don't need to pull it out. And the goals that they have for that money are different. As we've already said, they don't really need it for income.
Right.
Not at all. So they just let it sit there. And now they're like, okay, help us with this RMD. And I said, are you kidding me? I can not only help you with the RMD, you don't even have to take the RMD.
Yeah.
Right? You can take every dollar. Marcus, let's say it's 20 grand.
All
right?
Let's
Okay.
talk.
If you pull that money out, and let's say you're in a state that charges you 5% income tax, and you're in a 22% tax bracket. It's 27%.
Yep.
Let's just say 25% for easy math. If you're required to pull out 20 grand, you're giving up, you're disgorging 5 grand.
Yeah.
In taxes, mostly to the federal government.
Right.
Okay. If you're already given 20 grand to the church, guess what? You can send the 20 grand there. They get every dollar. And you don't take on that income. So it keeps your income taxes lower. And instead of giving up 5 grand to the IRS, you give it all to your favorite charity. Now, instead of giving it monthly, you might have to give it all at once. You think the church or any other charitable nonprofit is going to care if you give it to them in one check or across 12 months?
No, absolutely. They'll be happy with it because oftentimes, and I know this didn't just apply to religious organizations, but charitable organizations also invest their money as well. When they get this big sum, some of them will use an investment to earn interest, and it's actually beneficial to them.
Absolutely. And we give to canine companions because they've helped us out with a canine.
Yeah.
We love our guy, 80 pound
Absolutely.
yellow lab Barris. We just pulled him off of the he's no longer going to be a certified canine companion.
We're retiring Bear.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, and I actually got emotional yesterday when I heard.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
And it's like, but I mean, he's still with the family.
Yeah.
He should have another 4 to 5 years run.
Yeah,
I hope so,
absolutely.
because he's been slowing down on his daily walks. But
Yes.
not only are we able to do that, but now the Smiths have waited so long. Now we have to do catch up, and now we're enacting the tax plan.
Okay.
Now they get it.
All right.
Okay. Now the Smiths, by the way, folks, names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Yes.
But now the Smiths are fully in now, but it's a decade later. So
they've lost out on part of that dining experience.
Yes.
Because they waited so long. Okay, so let's talk about the Joneses.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Now it's time to talk about the Joneses.
So let's
the
talk about
Joneses all along the way. All along the way, the Joneses have been cooperative. They've been eating fine meals throughout the year. And year after year after year, they've been allowing us to plan for them.
Nice.
And we've been completing money originally from TSP and another source, T. Rowe Price. We've been going forward and doing tax planning and Roth conversions all along the way. And in 2017, when the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act hit, 2018 enacted super low tax brackets, and we were able to do that all along the way. So guess what? The Joneses, they've got 2/3 of their money is tax-free.
Very nice.
2/3 of it.
Very nice.
You know they're feeling good.
Absolutely.
And if anything happens to either one of the spouses, their health, they pass away, the other spouse is in a really fantastic tax position being a single person now because it's a really bad tax bracket.
Right.
But with 2/3 of your family's wealth being there, guess what? Now the Smiths have to work at keeping up with the Joneses. That's it. They got to work at that because the Smiths didn't see the big picture.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted them to see.
Yeah.
So I was reading I was reading too, because sometimes Facebook is reading. Right?
Yeah, good.
So
No, it's good.
I was reading something.
Leaders are readers.
Oh, there you go. Great.
Leaders
yeah,
are
I've been
readers.
encouraged to do that for a while now. So I've been reading too.
Good.
I just started reading finally after all these decades. What's his name? He wrote how to win friends, how to make friends.
You're talking about is it
Dale Carnegie, is it?
Carnegie? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's how to influence.
How to win friends and influence people.
Yeah,
I think that's what that is.
It's a great book.
How to
Yes.
Win friends. Oh, it is. I just got through chapter 1. He says read both chapters twice. But I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I need to go back and reread it.
Readers are leaders. Yeah, stop being so critical.
Yes.
That's basically what I took out of chapter 1. Abe Lincoln, all kinds of other folks.
Yep.
Stop being so critical, right? Teddy Roosevelt, he was mentioned in there too. All right. So, I was reading about Harrison Ford.
Okay.
And he said when he arrived
Great
in
actor.
Hollywood, my top 5 movies, The Fugitive is one of them.
Absolutely.
Oh, love that movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Hey, come on. Star Wars, Raiders. Raiders entertained us in the theater. At least the first 2, they were really good.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. First one was like, what? Like
Yes.
watching magnificent movie
Yes.
when The Rock came rolling down. Harrison Ford said that when he got to Hollywood, he noticed that everybody else, all these other young people around him, had a short timeline where
Right.
they had to make it fast, fast, fast. And I thought he said 1964.
Might have.
I was reading again. And he decided that he was going to have another job. And through attrition, slowly but surely, as everybody else dropped off, he was going to stick it out. He was going to get known. And so as a carpenter, he said he fixed up his own beater home in Hollywood or wherever it was. And then he started working for, at this point, he was doing some entryway for Francis Ford Coppola's home.
Yeah, I think he did some set designs too, if I'm not
How
mistaken.
about that? See?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then George Lucas knew him at this point, was acquainted with him. And I don't know if he was walking there at Coppola's house or what it was. And he asked Ford to do something. Yeah. And when he got there, he said among 300 people to read for Han Solo, he says, hey, can you go ahead and read this for us?
Very
Harrison.
nice.
Yeah, so the rest is history. It's crazy.
That is awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, because Lucas did all the Raiders films too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then he did the Patriot Games movies, and as we said, right, Patriot, not the Patriot, I'm sorry.
It was
the movie I just said, The Fugitive.
Fugitive movie. Yes. Fugitive.
Oh, I love that
Patriot
movie.
Games.
Just love that movie.
Yeah.
So it worked out great. Yeah. And so through attrition, so slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Look, you can't get there overnight, right?
Right.
It's the rabbit and it's the hare and the tortoise.
Tortoise
right?
and the hare, correct.
Tortoise and the hare. There it is. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
The tortoise, you just keep plodding along.
Consistency is very important.
Yeah, and if you just cooperate, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be rubbing elbows with Coppola and Lucas,
You know,
right?
I've hung out in so many doorways hoping to be discovered by Coppola. Has not happened yet. Mr. Coppola, if you're watching, I like the wines. I like what you're doing there. Just saying.
Yeah, it's just, yes. So
throwing that out there.
Everything for the Joneses now
is
sunny. Everything is working out.
All right. How are the Smiths doing?
Smiths are doing good because now they're in.
Good.
They're in completely because they've seen it. And it was exactly 10 years.
Yep.
I know it. And that's how it did. So year after year, you keep cooperating. You stay with the plan. You work with fiduciaries that have your best interests at heart, and it's going to work out. It's worked out. It works out for the families that they want to. So you don't have to be the Joneses. You don't have to try to keep up with them. You can be whoever you are.
Fantastic.
Right? Give me the Jacksons.
And still have a nice dining experience, right?
Oh, yeah. You're going to eat, baby.
Yeah.
You're going to eat.
Yes.
So that reminds me.
Hit me.
Go ahead. Got it right there.
Hit me. So what? Okay. So just before we get to our health tip, because I'm glad you brought that up. I just want to do a quick little summary, because I don't think that people understand sometimes fiduciary. You're not just selling things, because I think that sometimes people get put in that box, right?
Right.
It's selling stuff. It's not. It's planning, and it's planning for your benefit. And interestingly enough, the federal government expects people who are in that position to help people avoid paying more taxes, right? You're looking for ways so that you can avoid that.
In fact, the Office of Personnel Management, OPM.
Yeah.
You feds that are listening, right? The Office of Personnel Management mandated back in, was it '09 and then restated it in 2011 or 2012?
Yeah.
That financial literacy should be part of every federal employee's
Absolutely.
training annually.
Absolutely.
But in the wisdom of the federal government, they didn't fund it. They didn't explain how it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But we find agencies all the time that want to provide this training. And when they offer it to their staff and employees, directors, all of them, they all come together. It's from every job level you could think of. And they are so appreciative of that financial literacy training that we provide.
Yeah.
So I would say, by the way, folks, if any of you got a federal agency and you want this financial literacy training, it's typically all day. Sometimes if you don't have enough bandwidth for that, half day, we do a compressed where 2 of that, say 4 hours, is exclusively devoted to TSP, 2.5 hours, I would say. And otherwise, it's typically all day training, 7 hours. And it's if you can reach out to us for that, we can get it scheduled for your agency.
And that's great. And again,
Scheduled and funded.
the idea is Smiths were eating. They're not going hungry. They're eating. But the difference between just eating and having a fine dining experience is amazing. And what you want is the fine dining experience, which you can have. It's within your range. Absolutely.
Yeah, miles apart.
So now knowing all that, let's get back to food. What are we talking about? Health tip for today. What's our health tip?
Our health tip for today is, what did I say for day? Our health tip for today is superfoods.
Superfoods.
Superfoods. I'll tell you why, folks.
Tell me, please.
Because when I walk Barris on the trail,
Yeah.
right, our service dog, well, formerly service dog up till like 2 days ago, when I walk Barris on the trail, I pass by, we're coastal. And even though we've got the marine layer washes in, we also have cactus.
Yeah.
Should I say cacti?
Cacti.
And right now, I've been waiting for them. They were just kind of bright red. Now they're starting to go deeper red.
You get those
right?
tunas, as they say in Spanish, the
Tunas,
prickly
yeah,
pears.
prickly pears.
Absolutely.
And so I'll take a few, like 3 bags of doggy bags.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the doggy bags, I mean the poop bags we have on the trail. And I'll grab them with that. And I'll turn them inside out, and then I'll have them. I'll take them home. What I do is I put a fork in them and scrub them with the scrubby side of the
Sponge. Yep.
Yeah, ours are blue now, but the green yellow ones, whatever. Just don't touch those prickly pears straight up.
They're very small. I know from experience.
Those little needles will
My
get you.
grandmother used to send me out to get paddles for cooking, right? And those little needles, if you're not careful, will get in you, and they're hard to find once they're there.
Paddles.
Yeah. So the actual.
Oh, you mean the whole?
Yeah.
Oh, for the nopales.
Yeah, for the nopales.
Oh, I like nopales in
That's good
molcajete.
stuff. Yeah.
When they cook it with the salsa in the oven.
Yes.
I eat those with tacos. The Latinos are always surprised when I say nopales. You eat cactus? I'm like, because some people will say, "What's
'Cause it's
nopales?"
good.
Well, sometimes there'll be other Latinos at the table go, "What's nopales?" And they go, "It's cactus." He eats it. I'm like, "Yes, it is good." Yeah. Anyway, we digressed.
I
I
digress.
think nopales are a superfood too. Now, I looked this up online. Guess what? They say prickly pears aren't yet a superfood. They haven't qualified it yet. But we also have a pomegranate tree. And what I do with prickly pears too, besides just spooning them out, I put them in a shaker with ice and vodka, and then it's really a superfood. But I feel really good when I eat those, and I feel like it's a superfood. Pomegranates too. I'll take a pomegranate and just put it on a hand juicer and do that and pour that in. Ooh, is that good? Or I learned to cut them in segments, how they're shaped, and you peel them open. And you can turn them upside down and shake them out. The pomegranate's a really quick way to get them out.
Yep.
One other fruit, superfruit,
Passion.
brought in from one of our team members, a passion fruit. I'm not embarrassed to say, about 25 minutes ago, I just chucked one of these bad boys down. You don't chuck
I
it
watched
down
him
like
do
that.
it.
You cut it in half, and then you kind of spoon it out or just slurp it out. But passion fruit, too. Get a good look at that, huh? Passion fruits.
It's some good fruits.
That's it.
Today.
Okay.
So one other thing, maybe we'll do a cooking segment. One of these days we're going to set up and do a cooking segment because I will show you how to do that prickly pear syrup, and it makes a great margarita. Yes.
Wow.
We'll juice the prickly pear. Well, we won't go through the whole process, but you get the idea. We'll make a syrup of it, and you use that for your margaritas.
A friend of mine, Joel, just posted a prickly pear jelly he had on an English muffin. I was like, "Ooh, that sounds good." But it wasn't pink or red. That's what I was surprised at. There's not different color prickly pears.
There are. It depends on when you pick them. So
where
When.
When?
Yeah.
Oh,
A
interesting.
little deep in the color. So, jalapeno, a prickly pear jalapeno margarita is fantastic.
Prickly pear jalapeno margarita.
Yes, we will do one of those one of these days. I promise. Well, that's for a later date. We're going to do some cooking episodes. I think with some of our health tips.
But those different fruits, grab them, folks.
Absolutely.
I had a dragon fruit the other day. My wife says, "Why did you get that?" And I'm like, "Because I wanted something different." And it wasn't that sensational, but it felt really good.
Yeah, well, good. I like. I try to eat fruits in season, local and in season. And you're in a good spot because you have a lot of stuff that's local and
we
in
do, don't
season,
we?
long seasons.
Yeah, long seasons.
Very good. So, superfoods, man, go out and get them. Can we want to just put a bow on it there?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, this is good conversation. Again, we want everybody to think about things. We don't want you just a la carting it. If you want to, you can. But why a la carte it when you can have the fine dining experience?
That's it. Why pay taxes when you could keep up with the Joneses and maybe even outpace them? And you can eliminate taxes. Eventually, it's possible.
Very good. So
At least from your retirement savings. Just for compliance sake.
Let's outpace those Joneses, man. Let's outpace the Joneses and have a good retirement. Folks, thank you again for tuning in. As always, we recommend that you subscribe to the channel. That way you get the videos as soon as they're released. Also hit that like button. It helps us and it'll help you. We appreciate your time. As always, this is the CD Financial Podcast. CD Financial, where health meets wealth. That is Chuck D. I am Marcus C. As always, happy to have you here, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye, folks. CD Financial, where health meets wealth.